This video review is being brought to you by PrimeToys.net. PrimeToys.net. Collector grade Transformers for not the collector grade prices. Check them out at PrimeToys.net. And I'm a reviewer, so let the reviews be joined. Hey guys, this is Dinobot here once again with another video review for you. And today we're going to bring in and look at Combiner Wars Deluxe Class Breakdown. Very cool, nice figure. I'm already in love with the car mode for this. I've always been a Lambor fan. It's just sweet looking, very cool. But before we get into Lambor, or excuse me, not Lambor, but Breakdown, let's look at what he came with. We'll set him back for a moment. And of course, Breakdown comes with his instruction booklet. His instruction booklet shows that basically it's a 12-step transformation for into his robot form and all. I mean, again, as I've said before, I've always enjoyed how they've redone and retooled, or however you want to call it, that they've done with the instructions and stuff for all these the new figure lines that they've come out with. Very more detail, very well done, very on the art and everything. Next, we're going to look at his unlike the bigger Voyager classes and stuff, and as always, these guys come with their own comic book. This one being Breakdown, of course, on the cover by Hasbro. He's got his detail on the back, and here in the inside as well, got the little product, or basically I won't say storyboard, but his design phases. Very cool. But the comic itself is a reprint of Robots in Disguise number 13. Very good issue. I don't want to spoil anything in this for you, but if you're not reading the IDW books, you're missing out on a great series. I highly recommend you go back, start collecting if you haven't already. Start collecting some of these IDW books and reading them. The More Than Meets the Eye and Robots in Disguise series are basically the current run. Well, you also have the Windblade series as well, and the current Transformers G.I. Joe, which there are haters of that series out there, but I'm one of the ones that actually do like it. But again, I highly recommend you guys going back and checking those books out. Also, we have, of course, his hand, foot, weapon accessory here, which is very nice as well. You got the dual exhaust, like basically ports here for it. And on Breakdown here, you can do a couple of things with this. First and foremost, he does have this peg hole on the top. We can peg this in up here and pop loose a little bit there. And you have it like so for cannons or whatever that way. You can even peg it in back here if you want to, but it doesn't really kind of fix the back wheels on that. But there is another way you can do this. Right here on besides the peg hole here, there's these little pegs right here on the top of Breakdown. You can actually take this piece and they'll peg into these top holes right here, right below the little exhaust or cannons, whichever you want to call it, and they'll peg right into that. Like, let me get this lined up right. Come on now. Well, I'm not getting it in there just right, because I'm not got it lined up just right yet. There we go. Had to get it a little bit more closer, and you can peg it in there and you can fold it up like so. Very cool. I really like the way this looks, and as you know, this mold is getting repainted, redone into Ultra Prime, or become Ultra Prime as Sunstreaker. And this is where I can see the mold being used as, definitely. Sunstreaker was a Lambor as well. And this really looks like, if you've seen the G1, he had like a little engine, basically, that he had not really stuck up this high up on him. But he had a little engine you could see up on this part of him. And this kind of looks just like him. So you could see, with this on there, you can see that being redone as it. But let's get this off and look at his other accessory, his weapon. His gun, sword, whichever you want to consider it. It does, this way you can see basically like the chamber for the ammo and the handle and the gun barrel and stuff on this with the blade. But you can do a couple of things with this. Again, you can peg it in up here on the peg hole, which I must not have this pegged in right to keep it from doing that, but you can have it with the gun that way. Or this is actually pretty cool. I like this idea to it. With the back peg hole here, you can peg it in back here. You can have him, like, say if he's driving by an Autobot or whatever, he can, have this appear and, slice their tires off, slice them open sideways or whatnot. But that's still pretty cool. But we'll set these aside and we'll transform Breakdown into his robot mode. Do so is very simple. As I said, 12 steps. Just one step, you can flip these back. You go ahead and also right here, pull the front windshield and stuff up to there. You will then flip this whole front engine block area to the back. Next step, you'll pull, well, it does, I always forget that these peg in right here, so you have to unpeg them a little bit, which, there we go. You unpeg the arms basically to pull the legs out, like so, and you'll bring these down. They're just like the aerial bots, and these do peg together, by the way. I like how this design is, but you'll bring all these down for the transformation and all. You'll flip it, basically straighten them out into his legs, like so. And you also want to straighten out these ball joints right there to give them more of a hip, like so, which I'll like this. And you also, before, you really should have done, you could do this now, you could do this before. You flip these pieces down for his feet, and there's Breakdown halfway to his robot form. Next step, you'll want to pull these out, basically the door panels, side panels and all. You'll extend this area, the bottom part of it, out on the ball joint into his arms. Do so this way. You can flip these up, but there's a reason why you don't want to, and you're about to see why. One thing of note right here on the top of his the section here where basically the shoulder and the leg joint is for his combine mode, there's this little peg. Doesn't really get used much other than at this point here. When you reach back here, you flip this panel down from the front end of the fender here, and you'll flip it all the way out like so, straighten it up. As you can see, there's his head. Now when you flip this back, you want to tilt it just a hair back just to kind of straighten this out, because as you flip it down, there is a little, I find it tends to peg right here into this joint here, not into the peg hole there as it shows right there. You'll push that down, and it basically, what it does is it gives you just enough give to flip it out straighten out his shoulders, or straighten it out into like a upper torso. And then these pegs here will straighten out, which I'm still not got this lined up right, because I don't got this peg all the way back like it should be. There it is. You see there's this double hinge right here. That's the key to it there. You'll bring that down. You can see it peg. You heard it peg in right there. You'll flip that down. Then right here you'll flip this piece up, and it slides right into that joint, that hole right there perfectly. Give them the full joint there, and you straighten the arms back out. You can see in the process I've bent his legs up. You'll then turn his head around, and here is Breakdown in his robot form. Not too bad at all. Very G1S Breakdown. I do like this. I like the way this is situated. Does have this back kibble here, but it's not that bad at all. I mean, you got this open area, kind of, you see the peg holes here and all, but it's nothing too major. I do like how basically the spoiler for the car folds down to form basically like the heel for his feet, and gives him more stability on that. Articulation, with him being a square head up here, he is on a ball joint, so it does turn around, but he gets just a little bit where he could raise his head up and down. Shoulders, do have the ball joint there as well. They swivel all the way around. It's got the hinge in the ball joint in the elbow to be able to swivel it all the way around if you need to, and straighten it up like so. And then, but there's no hand articulation at all, no fingers or nothing like that. Hips, he does have the swivel just a little bit there, but the legs do kind of get in the way of that. You can turn it down some if you want to get them to swivel it some more. But that's just how, basically what you can do with it. He has a little swivel right there, right below that ball joint. You can swivel those all the way around both ways. He does have that little bit of knee bend, but right there, and there's not really any ankle articulation, but other than doing like so, you can use the transformation bit, and the same with the other if you wanted to, but it won't fold. The front part of the foot won't fold any further down. So, but that's basically it for the transformation on his robot form. His weaponry, you can peg into him, or not peg into him. You can have him hold it. Let me get him straightened out here. You can give him take the weapon, stick it in his hand as you will a gun if you want to, or if you want it as the sword as well. Works either way. As the other ones, you can take the hand, foot, weapon, whatever you want to call it here. I normally when if I was displaying like this, I'd fold that up just to get it out of the way, and you can just peg it into his hand as well. Oh, if I'm getting it in the hole. There. You can have them holding that if you want. Works either way. Not too bad. Really, it does kind of weigh him down though, as you can see, but you can fix it where he'll stand up. Next, we're going to change him into his arm mode. Though, for me personally, he's the right leg for Minosaur. That's how he was in G1. Or, granted he was Scramble City Combiner, but I kind of liked him as just the leg. To do the leg, simple, flip his head back around, his arm, turn his head back around. You want to pull the shoulder pieces, or basically the extra piece here, out. Straighten the arms. To get that out of the way, you will unpeg and pull this up, folding it back. Now, on this, when you're transforming it back into car mode or any mode, it's better to turn the head around, because if you don't, because of the way this is, the front end of his head, it's not going to situate well. Which mine's just a little stiff in this area. That's why it's so tough for me to get it to form right. As you can see, that this little piece here is going to be in your way if you try to fold it in, even if you do it that way. Doing it this way, it's not going to give you the movement like you need with the wheels. But if you work it right, if you turn his head all the way back around backwards and then fold it up in there, it will sit in there more securely and better, giving you the level area for the rolling of the wheels. Which that's not what we're doing just yet. But next step, you want to fold the arms back up, fold them back into his sides like you were back into his car mode. Next, you want to peg his legs back together like so. You can fold this back, turn this around. Whoop, I'm actually turning it the wrong way. I don't think it really doesn't really matter either way you do this for the arm. Kind of does look better if you do it this way though, just to have the car bit there on top. The tab actually you can also use to do like so, to just help you to pop that out. And this, you'll then take the hand, the joint here, if it being, basically I got him in his left hand, or no, excuse me, right arm mode. just fold that back, fold this up, and like so. You then take the peg and peg it into this back peg hole like that. Make sure it's all snug, and there's his right arm mode. Looks pretty good. You can, if you really want to, you can flip that up and have it like so. Give that a little bit of extension there for the shoulder. You can also have that like so to do that way, which this way isn't too bad either. I do like, if I was to display him in his arm mode, this is probably how I would do it, just to have that little extra look more square in that. But now leg mode, we're going to first we'll just get this back out of the way. We don't, from this way you ain't got to do much. We'll turn this around. I have to unpeg these legs a little bit, and we'll fold the legs up like we're doing it back into his car mode, which we're pretty much doing right now. Considering, peg that back together. Do the same on this side. You can see it just pops right back into place, real nice and snug. But you instead of leaving it like this, you do have to flip this back. Flip this back like so. Flip the joint here all the way up. You can leave these down, or you can fold those up. Same with the spoilers. And then you just take the hand or foot, whichever way you want to describe this extra tool, and you just peg it into the there we go, the bottom. And actually got it the wrong way. And there's his leg mode. It does kind of look a little wobbly. It may be my table doing that, but there we go. This is his leg mode for his. A lot of other G1 people kind of want to do it like this, which you can. Nothing wrong with having it this way, you know, because this is how basically he was in the G1 series. But still, you know, this is how he is in his supposed to be in the instructions and all. One other note I wanted to note quick before in this video, we're going to flip him back into his car mode, which, you know, it's not that hard from this position with him being already pretty much in his vehicle mode, which I might not getting that pegged in right. I'm not too worried about that right now. But basically, I don't think I got this pegged in right, but for now, this will be fine. I have come across on TFW 2005. There is somebody who's posted up some pictures of how he actually made these to look more articulated. From what it showed on the board, you basically take a little pin, pop this pin right here out. You'll pull pull all the your hands out of here. You'll pull all this piece will come out. You'll take a little sawing tool and basically cut the fingers apart. And then pop the pin, put them back on the pin, or put them back in here. Put the pin back in, and it should, you should have more articulated fingers. I will post a link to that TFW page on my comments down here. So if you want to check that out and post that in there, you're more than welcome to. Which I did something there. But, it's all good. I actually might try that myself. I haven't decided just yet on it. I actually have to go get me one of the little tools to pop the pin out first. But again, and as I said before, I have to admit I really like how this sits. You can actually sit this in here. If I can get it lined up in there right. There we go. Oh, almost. Let's get that in there. There we go. It does look pretty good like that. But that's it, guys. This is going to be my look at. This has been my look at Transformers Cabana Wars Deluxe Class breakdown. I do recommend picking this guy up, especially if you want to collect Minosaur. For the Stunticons to complete the wave and everything. You can pick this guy up from PrimeToys.net. I'll have a link down in the description for you to go to pop in there and just pick him up right there. And as usual, guys, please like, comment, and share this video. If you haven't done so, please subscribe. And lastly, guys, I also post in the comments to to my Twitter and to my Instagram, where if you watch at the beginning of the week, I will post a picture up of all my figures that I'm going to be reviewing that week. So be sure to check that out as well. And lastly, guys, be sure to check out the Transmissions podcast, where, like me being sponsored by PrimeToys.net, you can go on there and use the Transmissions July code where you can get 10% off your purchase. So be sure to check them out as well. They're a great group of guys who talk anything and everything Transformers. You got comics, toys, and both third party and everything. The most recent video, the episode they did, they talked to Non-F. So definitely worth listening to, guys. And this is Don Bot saying thanks for watching, and hope to hear from you soon.